$3,000 a month gone overnight while I had just about $7,000 worth of debt. I worked for a company more than a decade where I worked for two bosses who were stepbrothers. Now, I did everything in the office. I loved the job that I did. I just didn't like the dynamic because every day I was put in between the two of them as if I were a ping pong ball. I never knew what I was walking into when I pull up at the door in the morning, and I didn't even want to walk in there because I just wasn't sure. You could feel the tension and cut it with a knife when you walked in. If I wasn't playing referee, I was a pawn in one of their games. And I tell you, the tension and the stress was brutal. Here I am, 54, Menno is raging, my mom is sick, as an empty nester, like things were just crazy. But you know what? Taking the family stuff out of it and just thinking about the work, knowing that I loved what I was doing, but one thing I realized the last few days, because I've been doing a lot of reflection because I started the Bold 42 with my coach with Most Won't We Will. And I realized that, I was butthurt. I got fired after almost 12 years of doing everything. Never missing time, just doing all the things. But here's what I'm trying to get at, my point here. I was butthurt. I was mad. I was sad. I was pissed off. I sulked in that for about 2 weeks. But you know what? At the end of the day, I made that happen. You know why? Because I allowed them to treat me that way. I stayed there knowing that when I pulled up to that door, I didn't know what I was walking into. I knew all the work was going to be dumped on me. And even if I did it right, somehow it was going to be my fault. And I'd go home every night with an attitude and bring it home to my family. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'd had a few shots most days of the week. That's not healthy. I was just surviving, trying to get that paycheck, a paycheck that kept me broke. All because I didn't have the balls to stand up to them and to walk away. I subjected myself to it. And again, we all need money. I get it. And it paid for stuff, and I'm missing that money. But it's not worth my sanity. It's not worth my worth. I was letting them beat me down so bad that I didn't even recognize who I was. So the moral of what I'm trying to say is we create our own reality, and I'm learning that now because of the choices that we make. So if you're at a job that you just can't stand and you're being mistreated, maybe it's a relationship, I don't know, whatever it is, you got to stop it. There are plenty of jobs out there, but for me, I decided I was going to go against the grain. I decided to learn digital marketing. So I got me a coach to get up here right because I was tanked, and I searched until I found the digital marketing course that suited me. Let me tell you something, when you get up here right and you find something that you align with, the sky's the limit. Now, everything's different for me. I show up with confidence. I don't put up with bullshit. And I'm finding my way to what works for me. So if you're done dealing with whatever it is might be